Hey everybody, this is Tanner Gallant, joined by my brother Thomas. Today we have a special guest, Seattle Kraken prospect and current forward of the Coachella Valley Firebirds, Luke Henman. Luke, how are you doing today?
Good guys, thanks for having me on.
Before we kind of get talking about hockey, we got to ask, how are you enjoying the nice warm weather and lifestyle of California?
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's we got down here about mid-November. We were playing on the road the first kind of 20 games of the year because our rink wasn't ready. But we got down here about mid-November, and it's been great. A lot of good golf, on off days and stuff, and going to the rink in shorts and a t-shirt isn't so bad either. So I got no complaints.
Probably with that warm weather, you're probably getting out to the golf course quite often.
Yeah. I mean, the schedule's pretty busy. You're kind of, especially second half of the year, you're kind of playing almost every other day. So it's a little bit tougher, but definitely some off days you can get out on the course with some of the guys and enjoy the weather and all that. So it's been good.
Right. Well, and the other question I kind of got a little bit about your hockey past, but it's kind of interesting what route you kind of took with being the first player signed by the Kraken. So I'm curious
Yeah.
if you can kind of go and describe some of it, like how that process went and what made Seattle a desirable place to sign.
Yeah. So I was drafted by Carolina in 2018 and didn't end up signing with them. So I went back for my 20 year and had a good year. It was kind of the COVID year, so we were just kind of playing in bubbles and stuff. But I had a really good year, and our team lost to Victoriaville in 7 games in it was the semifinals or maybe anyway. No, I had a good year, and I kind of was talking with Ron Francis kind of all throughout the playoffs and some of the Seattle staff, and I kind of knew that they liked my game, so. I think it was game two of the Victoriaville series. I got a call from my agent after the game. We had just won in overtime, and he kind of said like, "Hey, like, would you like to be the first player in Seattle Kraken history?" And it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I think it was a really good opportunity, and kind of told my family and a few of my friends. It was. I think I found out on a Sunday, and they weren't announcing it until Wednesday, so I kind of had to keep it quiet for 3 days just because of all the it was a big deal for the organization, the player. So I had to respect that they wanted to keep it quiet until, they could kind of control it. So, but no, it was a really special day. I was in Quebec kind of with my teammates, as I said, it was kind of the bubble. So, we were just kind of all together in the hotel, and it was a really cool day and something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, what a
Pretty,
hard thing to keep to yourself, right? Like it's like one of the
yeah,
biggest days probably of Kraken history, but also kind of your life. So
yeah, yeah. It was hard. It was really hard. I told a couple of my close friends and obviously my parents, and then like one guy on the team. But luckily it didn't get out because that would have been a tough start. But no, it was cool, really cool.
You must have to kind of pinch yourself when you're talking to a guy like Ron Francis. I mean, such a legend.
Yeah, no, it's you definitely do. You don't really kind of understand it until you kind of look back at it. Some of that stuff, and I still probably, and even like right now, my coach is Dan Bylsma, who is the guy. I was a huge Penguins fan growing up, and seeing him coach the team to Stanley Cups, like you're just around those kind of guys every day, and it is kind of super cool and something that you really got to try to you know you really got to try to take advantage of it while you can because if you don't, you look back, you might have some regrets. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, after playing your first pro season with the Charlotte Checkers last year, you joined Seattle's newly expanded team in Coachella Valley, where you're at now. What's the
Yeah.
experience been like joining a newly expanded franchise, and how's the community embraced you?
It's been unreal. The community has been unbelievable. We're getting like 7, 8,000 fans a night, and they're super loud. They're super passionate. They haven't really had much going on here. Um, it's a pretty quiet kind of area. Like a lot of elderly folks that just are coming down from Canada for the winter, and besides like they have Coachella and Stagecoach, but other than that, there's not really a lot going on. So you even hear we have fan meet and greets and stuff. All the fans are kind of like, oh, like we're so happy you guys are here. We haven't had anything this exciting in a long time. Everyone's super excited. You guys have a great team, and we're really looking forward to the rest of the season and future seasons. So it's been super crazy, and even like we've been out to 4 or 5 of the top courses in California just from kind of season ticket members, getting us out there, asking us to come play. So it's been great. It's been real good.
Well, you kind of mentioned it before, but when the season started, you were kind of living out of a suitcase because, I think it was December when the rink got done. So, that's 2 or 3 months of hockey. So
Yeah.
maybe take us the scene behind the scenes, kind of what that's like. And, how do you guys prepare for that going on the road for that long?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. I think we didn't have our first home game until December 18th, which is 2.5 months after the season starts. So it was definitely something that we talked about early in the season that we're going to have to make sure that that we really focus and dial it in for the first half, because playing that many games on the road, if you're not you can kind of get behind the 8 ball a little bit, but I think we did a great job of, coming together as a team quickly, and you can kind of use it to your advantages in that way too. You're spending a lot of time with the guys, getting to know each other on a new team. And I think we were first in the league, in the first half of the season, which is a great accomplishment in itself. But it was nice to finally get home. We were in Seattle till November 7th, and then we were here in November and December, but we weren't really here. We were just on the road every weekend. So, but yeah, it was definitely good to get home, and most of the second half has been at home. So it's been good.
So, even with the tough schedule to start the year, the teams had a strong start right from the get-go. What's been the key factors for the Firebirds on becoming a contender in their debut season?
Yeah, I mean, it starts from the top. I think we have great coaching staff. We have a couple of guys. We have a guy, Andrew Podorowski, who's been around. He's won the last 2 Calder Cups. So we have guys like that who know how to win, and we kind of just play well as a team. We're fast. We're in people's face. We play well defensively. We got great goalies. So I think it starts from the top, but everyone's kind of pitching in and playing their role. And I think we're hoping for a long playoff run here.
I know we've kind of discussed it, but this is your second season in the AHL here now. What was the biggest step for you personally going from juniors into pro hockey?
I think it was just kind of the size and the speed of guys. It's a lot different than junior, and I was kind of playing 20, 25 minutes a night in junior, and being the guy who they go to on a nightly basis, and that's obviously changed just because of how good players are. So just kind of adapting to your role and trying to help out the team in any way you can. But definitely the size of especially D-men, like they're so good with their sticks and they're always in your face, and it's hard you don't have as much time and space out there. So just kind of adapting to that. But I think even since day one of last year, if you look at the kind of player I was then to the player I am now, it's kind of night and day. So just try to keep trending in the right direction.
So, it probably does. Well, you mentioned it a little bit earlier. It doesn't hurt having the experienced coach like Dan Bylsma behind the bench. Tell us a little bit more about him and what it's like having that experience in the locker room.
Yeah, he's just kind of a guy who, when he's talking, you just want to listen and you want to take in as much knowledge as you can. He's a guy who's loose with the guys in the room. He's a guy who you want to go out there and play for. But at the same time, he'll hold you accountable, which I think is perfect. So he's got that perfect kind of mix to what's kind of a successful coach is nowadays. But he's been great. Like I said, just kind of when he's talking, you just want to listen and you want to try to, soak in as much as you can, because obviously he's, won a Stanley Cup. So yeah, I think just learning from him every day and for all the guys on the team has been incredible so far.
I think it's great to see him back, coaching in the AHL. He got a kind of the raw end of the deal in Buffalo, so it's nice to see him back.
Yeah,
So
no, he works extremely hard. He logs the long hours at the rink, and he's definitely, his work ethic is definitely real good.
so with Calder Cup playoffs is right around the corner. I mean, what's your guys's I guess what's the key for success to have a long run in the Calder Cup?
Yeah, so I think we got 6, 7 games left here. We're still trying to. I think we're 2 points behind Calgary for first place, and we play them on Wednesday. So that's going to be a good test for us. I think we're obviously trying to get first place. The first place team gets a bye in the first round, so obviously not playing that first round and getting some extra rest would be good. But I think just kind of doing what we've been doing all year. Like I said, we're a fast team. We're in people's face. We break the puck out real well, and we have some real good players. And I think if we kind of play like we have been, and obviously step it up a little bit because of playoff time, I think we'll be all right.
And you guys last year you had a couple games in the playoffs, but even you had a couple good playoff runs in junior. I mean, how much does that experience mean to you going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important. You want to be a guy who kind of elevates his game in the playoffs and those big games. So, I'm gonna take that experience and try to use it, but at the same time, it's each season's different, and I'll take what I learned last year in the playoffs and try to use it this year. But again, like I said, I just want to kind of get better every day and continue to improve.
I think you have, I'm kind of going a little futuristic here, but I think you have one more year left on your ELC. So after this year, what is your goal? Is it to try to make the Kraken next year, or is it just to try to improve on your game as you are in Coachella, or what's your goals there?
Obviously, your goal is to reach the highest level. The way that's going to happen is just kind of trying to get better every day, try to learn as much as I can. There's a lot of good players in this league, and obviously the next. So for me, I'm just gonna obviously, I definitely have some areas that I can improve on, obviously, and I think if I just try to get better every day, hopefully it'll translate and things will work out.
And you're also playing with fellow Maritimer Jeremy McKenna. So I gotta ask, first thing, have you guys ever played before or talked before playing here? And what is that communication like?
Yeah, no, it's been good. He's kind of been with us for most of I think he's played like 20 games now or something. So been with us for a little bit. I didn't really know him all that well before. He played in Moncton with one of my good friends from back home, so we kind of knew each other mutually that way. And I skated with him a few times in the summer, so we obviously knew of each other, and we knew each other a little bit. But getting to know him's been great. He's a great guy. I drive him to the rink every day now, so he's having some real good success here, and hopefully you can keep that going.
Now, how did you get stuck driving him every day?
Don't get me started on that.
I don't have any more questions, Thomas. Do you have anything?
No, we just want to wish you the best of luck the rest of the season and in the playoffs. We'll be looking forward to watching you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Have a great day.
All right. See you guys.
See you now.